Welcome back to the Freedom and Democracy Road. Today we begin a series I call The Great Lakes, A Journey Home. I grew up in Toronto, long before its iconic CN Tower was built, and for much of my youth, the waters of Lake Ontario, Lake Huron, and the lakes east of Georgian Bay were part of my life. I swam in them, boated on them, vacationed beside them, surrounded by stories passed down through generations. But I don't think I really understood them, not then. This summer, more than 70 years later, I returned to these waters and beyond, this time aboard Victory II with my wife Kathy. We were going on a Great Lakes cruise, traveling through waters that connect two countries, past cities, islands, rapids, lighthouses, and waterfalls, following routes that people have traveled for thousands of years. But somewhere along the way, it became something more to me. It became a journey back. We began in Chicago, then traveled north through Milwaukee, Escanaba, Sault Ste. Marie, Mackinac Island, then south through Detroit, Cleveland, past Niagara Falls, and finally back to Toronto, back to the city of my birth. Although that was the end of our cruise, our journey did not quite end there. It continued north to Georgian Bay, back near the waters that had been part of my family memories throughout my upbringing. And it was there that the journey became deeply personal. As we traveled this vast aquatic life force of the largest freshwater system in the world, I began seeing these waters differently. Long before there was a Canada or a United States, these waters connected people. They were highways, sources of food, places of gathering, and home to the indigenous peoples whose descendants are still here today. The border that divides the two countries today didn't divide those waters then. The waters connected them, and perhaps they still have something to teach us about connection today. At each stop, we went looking for one connecting story, a story about the people, the water, the land, and about the values that allow people to live together. I discovered stories of belonging, guidance, connection, unity, renewal, endurance, and ultimately legacy. These are not simply stories about the past. They are stories about what one generation learns from another, and what we choose to leave for the next. So, over the next 11 short videos, I'd like to take you with me and Kathy, not simply as tourists on a cruise through all 5 Great Lakes, but as travelers looking for what these places can still teach us about one another, about the generations who came before us, about waters I had never traveled before, and unexpectedly, about my own beginnings, and perhaps about the road ahead. Our story begins where the cruise began, in Chicago. Welcome to the Great Lakes chapter of the Freedom and Democracy Road, because the path only continues if we walk it together. Thank you.